So, today we're going to talk about all things Gumbi. This is my Gumbi deep dive. Gumbi, it comes from Capoeira. It's got a different name, which I'm going to put somewhere here because I can't say it too well. It also looks like an Acro move called a Tinsica, which I will stick somewhere up here so you guys can see it. What you need to know about a Gumbi is that it's essentially a cartwheel with an arch. That's all it is. Boil it down, it doesn't need to be any more fancy than that. It's a cartwheel that has a bit of an arch. The best way to learn a Gumbi is actually quite basic. We just want to start with a normal cartwheel. I'm going to do all this facing the camera so you can see how my body adapts as I progress it. So we're just going to do a normal cartwheel. You can turn your foot in a bit, but you can also keep it out, it doesn't matter. We're just going to cartwheel, land, and swing the free leg. A Gumbi has a swing. They're used to go into things. So if you want a swing gainer, Gumbi's going to be your best friend. So it's really important to work that swing in a Gumbi because a Gumbi is part of a family of flips. It's a really big family of flips. You've got a Gumbi, Sailor Moon, Scrubber, Touchdown Rise, Rise, and Side Swipe. And each of them have got so many variations, but all of them other than side swipe have a swing, which means you can do it into stuff. So if you're starting with this as your first rise type flip, then it's really important you drill down your basics and get that swing because it's what you're going to be using later. If you're using this for dance, then ignore everything I said because it doesn't matter. So there's that. Right, now we've just done our normal cartwheel. The main difference between a cartwheel and a Gumbi is that with a normal cartwheel, your leg is tracking this way and swinging this way. With a Gumbi, you want to turn your hand out a bit. If anything, you want it to be slightly in front of you. And you want your back leg to be behind you at all times. The way I trick some of my students into doing this is literally just start your cartwheel, facing forwards like this, and put your back leg behind you and force this hip to stay open so it looks like this. If you go like this, you want Gumbi, it has to be like this. You don't want to arch from your back too much. You don't want to do anything weird with your head. It's just coming from your shoulders and that leg being slightly behind you. So the cartwheel will look like this. It's going to stay there and it's going to come over me. Hup. That's already starting to arch like a Gumbi. I'll do an extreme version so you can see what exactly I mean with the leg swinging behind. It never needs to go this far, by the way. If anything, I'd say it's counterproductive if you want it to swing later on. But I'll start again. This leg's going to go really far this time. Just going to go here. That's what I mean. So it just needs to be slightly behind you. Whether it's behind you here, so it's literally like this. Hup. That is equally as much a Gumbi as the other thing I just showed. Everyone really wants this big arch, but actually with this big arch, it typically becomes less controlled, less useful. You can't do as much with it. So it's better to find a middle ground where you're not at your max range of motion because when you're at your max range of motion, you can't do anything there. So stay within your limits just until you're comfortable with it. And then you can start swinging stuff. So I'm going to show you how I step into a Gumbi. I learned it from tricking, and I'd really recommend this way because it's something you will use 100% for your Sailor Moons, your rises, everything. It's almost a cheat step, but it's a bit longer. You're not cheating so much. So if you're going on your right arm to Gumbi, you're going to step back left foot. You're going to face to your left, cut across right, and reach out in front of you, and Gumbi there. If you're going to your left, you're going to do the same again. You're going to step back right, which takes you to the right. You're going to cut across, and you're going to go there. If we put it together, it looks something like this. So we're going to go here, step, round. And that's a Gumbi. So now we've got our leg going behind from that cartwheel, and we've got this step. What we want to think about is opening our chest. A good way to actually do this is practice from the floor. Like the Tinsica I showed at the beginning of the video. I'll show it from here. I'm not going to actually do the movement too well, but I'm just going to demonstrate what I mean by opening your chest. With a cartwheel, you typically close in front of you. With a Gumbi, you want to open up wide. So if it's coming here, my chest needs to open to here. You want it to be slightly behind your head. And that will get you that nice looking arch that you want people to see when you're doing a Gumbi. So there are a million different ways to get into a Gumbi. I'm not going to show them in this video. If you want to see them, just comment down below. Ask me to show you ways. I'll happily break down loads of gammy ways you can use a Gumbi. I'll also show you how it's applicable for dance. I can show you how it's applicable for tricking as well. Just let me know down below what you guys want, and it's something that I can do. So I'll show you one more time. This time I'll do it towards the camera, using the same steps that we talked about. So we're literally just going to step, for me, and right hand. We're going to go left, right, arm reaches out in front of me, opening my chest. So we're going to go left, right, arm reach out in front, open chest, swing. And that is my Gumbi deep dive, guys. Thanks for watching. Train safe.